Some of the most wild and difficult piano pieces have been written by Frédéric Chopin, perhaps one of the pinnacle composers of Romantic era composition. Chopin is one of those composers that we look at and we think, wow, that's hard. I mean, he wrote stuff like this. And this. So it might surprise you if I were to say that Chopin is perhaps one of the easiest places to start if you want to learn how to play something easy and incredibly beautiful. I mean, it's Chopin. There are some compositions that he wrote that he called preludes. A lot of them are a single page, and a lot of them are not particularly difficult. Don't let that fool you, because there are some things about them that require a lot of practice. However, if you want something that, no matter where you are in your piano journey, you can tackle pretty soon, may I present to you one of my favorites. You may have actually heard this. This is the E minor prelude. There are so many things about this piece that are just absolutely stunning, but when we take a look at the music, you can immediately see that, oh, hey, I think I might be able to handle this. You know, in the right hand, there's a lot of space, there's not a ton going on, and in the left hand, it looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's repeated, and this is actually where this piece derives a lot of its beauty and a lot of its simplicity. Those things we talked about that will take some practice, we'll get to those in just a second. But before we do, I gotta show you something that I have been working on that I'm so excited to share with you. The time has come to release my new massive project, the Better Piano System. I have been talking about Intro to Piano 2.0 for a while because it's been something I've been working on for a very long time. I am so proud to announce that it's finally ready. I'm gonna call it the Better Piano System. Why? Because it is everything that I have wanted to put into an all-in-one system to help you learn to play this instrument, to do so many of the things that you see me do here on this channel. And look, you may have noticed that I don't take sponsors on this channel, right? That's been a very deliberate decision for years now for me because I don't know, I'm like you. I watch YouTube and I see ads for BetterHelp and I'm like, what does this have to do with the content? Get out of my way. I don't want to do that, right? So if I'm talking about anything at all, I've wanted that to be something that I have made personally for you. Something that I've made because I want it to be useful for you. And if I'm gonna offer any way that you can help support the channel if you want, it's gonna be something that you're gonna get a ton out of. And that's what the Better Piano System is. Starting today, the pre-sale for this system is now open using the link in the description below. And when you take advantage of it, you're gonna get 75% off what it's gonna be once it's fully released. There's a ton of content there already. It's not like it's a placeholder for where the course is gonna go. No, there is hours of content. There's over 100 videos, including a 30-day challenge that's out there right now. You will not have time to finish all the content that I've put out already before the rest of it gets put out. I can promise you that. It'll take you from just starting out, even if you've never played this thing before. One of the most important things to me in creating this system is that I wanted to make something that gets you playing so quickly. You don't even have to worry about reading music. You don't have to worry about understanding even the notes on the piano. I'm gonna get you playing before we talk about that, because the biggest thing that can keep us from wanting to learn to play this thing is when we have such a delay or a perceived difficulty level between us not knowing and being able to make beautiful music. I want to get you playing beautiful music now. So literally the intro to the entire course will get you playing with your fingers on the piano, and then I get you playing full songs before we ever talk about notes or reading music, right? If you're looking at this right now and you're going, I don't know what that means, then this is gonna be the place for you to start. But by the time we get done, you will know what this means, and you'll realize that it's not nearly as difficult as you thought it was. This system is designed to be everything that I would want to tell you personally if we were gonna sit down and do one-on-one lessons together. All the things that growing up for me, any part that I was confused about or anything that I realized later on in my career where I was like, oh, that's what that means. I wanted to make sure I covered that before any of this. Before you have a chance to get confused or to get caught up and go, I don't know, I'll get back to this at some point. The whole thing is designed to keep you going and to get you playing new things as frequently as possible so that you prove to yourself you can make beautiful music, and you can do it way easier than you ever thought possible. The Better Piano System, it's available right now using the link in the description below. It is 75% off during this pre-sale, but that's going to be a very, very short-lived pre-sale, so take advantage of it while you can. It's literally under $100, and it's not gonna be. Once you have bought the pre-sale, you'll have an account, you'll have the course, and then all of the material, the rest of the material will just automatically get added. So you'll just log in one day and boom, there it is. If you've been waiting on Intro to Piano 2.0, the Better Piano System, check your accounts because you likely have access to it already. Same thing for you. It's just gonna continue to get updated and all the material is gonna be there very, very shortly. You guys, you know, I don't take sponsors. I don't even really talk about anything other than music on this channel as much as possible. And that's because when I do something like this, I want it to mean something, and I want it to be something that is designed to help you actually get something useful out of supporting the channel. And that is how I do support the channel. So if you love the content here, if you want to see it continue, I would so much appreciate your support. You know, and whether you do or not, I'm just happy you're here. Thank you so much for watching these videos. And I want to tell you about how this Chopin prelude can be one of your first steps into playing incredibly beautiful classical music, romantic era music. Chopin is one of my favorite composers, and this is just such a great example of that. So, like I demonstrated already, and now that you can see, even if you can't read music, you can still tell there's not a whole lot going on here, right? Because our melody, look how simple our melody is. Now we wait. Oh, what a beautiful interval. The minor second. Well, let's play it again. It's just incredibly beautiful. I feel like we should play it again. You can see how this is so simple. And now we're going to go somewhere else. Ooh, something new. Look at how much is repeated here. Right? Now, on its own, this sounds like just, you know, a couple notes, right? But when we add the left hand, boy, does this thing take shape, and it just becomes outrageously beautiful. So that first measure, where we have all repeated notes in the left hand, and it's one thing, nothing changes, and it's this. That's it. What is that? Well, this is an inversion of an E minor chord. It's the first inversion of E minor, okay? So when we combine the two, we get this beautiful, beautiful. And now we move to the next one. And we haven't really changed much. We just start slowly moving our left hand downwards. That's what's so cool about this. It has a consistent motion all the way through the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like the first 12 bars until we reset the whole thing back to the top again. It's amazing. Watch this left hand. E minor. Then we drop the bottom. Then drop the top. Now we drop the bottom again. Woo! We're typically changing one note at a time, and you can see the whole thing is just working its way down, down and down, down again. Some part of the chord is going to move down until we get to the bottom. Now we're gonna ask that question again and then set it back down to the bottom, ask it again, and then pause. That whole section in the entire left hand just kept moving down. Right? Some variation of that. It just keeps going down and down and down and down until we wind up at a big old B dominant chord, which leads very well right back to E minor. So we work our way all the way down to just get a 5 chord. It's utter brilliance. And when we add the right hand, this very calm, and it doesn't really go anywhere. The trick is, how do we get such expression out of like one note or 2 notes, right? A lot of it comes from, I'll show you, it comes from a couple different places. Number one, so here's how I could play this. If I were gonna play this purely just the notes and not really think about musicality at all, I could play something like this. you probably are already bored, okay? But what can I do without changing anything about the notes, right? We don't get to change the notes, but we can change the expression. What does that mean? Well, we have a couple different things at our disposal that we can use. We can change our dynamics. We can increase loud, soft. Now, there are a few dynamic markings in here. Obviously, at the beginning, we have a piano marking, which basically means just soft. And then we don't really have much else other than we have a couple of swells, right? But other than that, it's really up to us to make a lot of those determinations as to what we want to do. So I can play with the dynamics. I can also play with the time. Now, what do I mean by that? It's like, there's a concept called rubato. That's not really what this is, but it's this general idea of like push-pull, okay? So the best way I can describe it is if you just listen to this melody and you imagine somebody singing so painfully, that's really what this feels like. It's so painful. And if you just let those things pull out of you, you'll notice that there are certain areas where my speech speeds up and certain areas where it slows down, right? So that's what we're going to try to get out of this. It might sound something like this. Maybe I'll exaggerate just a touch so you can kind of see what I'm saying. If you just feel like you're just getting your heartstrings ripped out of your chest, I mean, you could really start to see how you can draw such emotion out of such simple lines. And that's one of the things I think is most exciting about Chopin in these really ultra simple preludes that are one page. And it's also the thing that makes them deceivingly difficult. Now, I know I said it's simple, and they are, in the sense that you, with not a ton of experience, can learn how to play this stuff. The notes themselves, they're not particularly difficult. But where the challenge lies is in drawing that story out of this. It's in drawing the emotion out of it. There's so many different ways to do it. So you could play this and never play it the same way twice, you know? And it's just a world of opportunity for musical expression. And it's so exciting because, like, it's so beautiful. I mean, all the notes, that was a dumb way to say that, but it's just, I don't know what else to say. It's just so incredible. And then as we get this, so it's almost divided into two sections. We get a big pause on that B dominant chord. It's almost like we're starting over, but we're gonna make some changes. We're not gonna quite do it the same way that we did before. And we're quickly gonna get into this new place. Then I think this is probably the hardest two measures of the entire piece. And they're not that bad. Once you take a second to get around them, you're like, oh, okay, I understand what it's doing. And it sounds like this. Check this out. And then this. Woo! Ugh. And then we get just a beautiful sus on the B, and then a B major. 5-1. Wow. Oh, it's wow. Yeah, so like that's like, honestly, that's the hardest thing. You know, the couple jumps here. So we have an octave. We got a jump in the right hand too. Right, and then a triplet there. So, well, once you work your way around this, like I clearly haven't. I love this ending here because right here, you expect a resolution. But we don't get that. Instead, we go. We get C major. Brilliant. And again, we still are working around the ending here and not giving us the resolution because we get an E major chord over its fifth, immediately switching to the E minor chord that we've been expecting, but we're still not resolved because it's over its fifth. Now we get C dominant out of nowhere before going B sus, B major, E minor. You guys, I'm telling you, this is the one. This is the one to learn. It's just absolutely incredible, and it's not that difficult. It'll be a challenge, but it's doable. You can do it. You can absolutely tackle this. I have complete faith in you, and especially if you take advantage of the brand new Better Piano System. No, it's yeah. You can do, whether you do or not, you can do this. Trust me. I just want to help you. I just want to help you get there, and I want to offer you something, a way to support the channel that isn't just some random company as a sponsor that has nothing to do with my content. I'm like, hey, I'll make a thing that I made with my own hands, and made it for you. To try to create something useful, you know? I'm really into that. If I'm gonna ever sponsor anything, is this even a sponsor? I guess it's my own thing. But I want it to be useful. I want it to be something you can use. And so if you want to support the channel, if you want to learn more about playing this instrument, I'm just so excited for everything that's gonna be in the Better Piano System. And so I wanted to offer it at a pre-sale, huge pre-sale discount, 75% off. It's under $100. And if you want to take advantage of that now, there is a link in the description down below. I would be so incredibly grateful if you would consider that. If not, totally fine. I am so psyched that you watch these videos. I'm so psyched that anybody watches these videos and geeks out about music with me, because that's what I like to do. And I like it to be useful if it can be useful. So hopefully you'll learn something here and hopefully get inspired to maybe go try to tackle this. And if I can help, link in the description. And thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. We'll geek out about something else. All right, bye.